Hello and welcome, all my ninjas, little warriors, and newcomers to this channel. I am Roy, and Ninjazilla 90, and today I will be reviewing the Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse He-Man figure, and I got some things to say about him. So, with that said, without further ado, let's get on with this review. And now, starting things off with the box, because, you know, we gotta talk about really cool boxes on this channel when we have them. And yes, I will be keeping these boxes, not only because of the real cool art display you have on the back, but because I do intend to store my figures in here when I don't have them out anymore, for, like, to have them on my wall. But anyway, we do have the series title logo on the front of the package. We have Masters of the Universe Revelation, which is the Netflix exclusive original series that this figure is from. Like, I know people have mixed feelings about the Revolution/Revelation series, but I'm still new to it, and I just started watching it. Now, I did watch Revolution first, and now I'm watching Revelation, so I'm kind of watching them backwards. But I'm still new to it, and I know some people say, you know, they don't like it and it's not the best. I think it's really good for what it is, quite personally. And I think it's an A+ show, despite other people's opinions. But anyway, we do have He-Man, the name of the character you're getting inside, of course. And we have the Mattel logo. We have ages 6+, so that means, yeah, 5-year-olds and under. Sorry, you're out of luck. But anyway, we have 30 points of articulation right there. A barcode that I'm more than sure not very many people are interested in. We have He-Man, most powerful man in the universe. Yeah, I think he's going to have to compete with both Goku and Superman for that title. But anyway, we have a really cool art style drawing of the Masters of the Universe Revelation He-Man right there, looking really cool on the side of the box. And of course, we have the back of the box. We have a really cool picture of the Masters of the Universe Revelation He-Man right there, with his shield in hand and his power sword all charged up with some lightning, and he's ready to strike. Kind of reminds me of Link from The Legend of Zelda as well, when he has his sword and his shield. You know what I'm talking about? You know, some of those art pictures from, like, the manual from The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. It kind of reminds me of, kind of gives me those vibes a little bit. But anyway, we do have some other figures that you get in this line. And of course, they're showing the very figure that you're getting in this box, which is the Masters of the Universe Revelation He-Man. We have a Moss Man, which I'm going to try to get later. But anyway, we do have the Revelation Skeletor, which I also do have. I've unboxed him, but I'm yet to review him. And of course, we have Evil Lyn. And yeah, there's selling you also available. That's the figures that's also available in this wave. And of course, we have the character bio. You can pause that and read it, because yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I am a slow reader. I am not illiterate, but I'm not a speed reader, so I'm gonna let you guys read that. I mean, I did have trouble reading growing up, so yeah, that's why I'm not gonna sit here wasting your time. But I can read, though. Believe you me, I can read. But anyway, moving right along to the bottom of the box. Yeah, nothing too interesting there. So anyway, that concludes it for the box. Now on to the figure. And now, by the power of Grayskull, here he is, the Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse He-Man figure. in all of his by the power of Grayskull glory. Of course, as you can see, this is a well-sculpted, well-detailed, highly articulated figure made by the super cool, awesome people at Mattel, of course. Now, one thing I do notice about this figure, the body is a lot slimmer from that compared to the 1982 classic Masterverse He-Man figure. This one reminds me kind of, sort of like an in-between between the 1982 classic He-Man and the 2000X He-Man from 2002. So I kind of see this as kind of sort of like an in-between, you know, the two designs. But I like it. I think this is an overall good look for He-Man. Looks awesome. He's pretty ripped, pretty jacked, like He-Man should be. They've done a really good job on the face sculpt. I really like how Mattel just captured the look of the Master of the Universe Revelation He-Man really, really well. I like how they've done the he symbol in the middle of his harness, and of course they have the signature red jewels on each, 3 red jewels on each side of his shoulder straps, and of course he is wearing his signature loincloth with his sort of like golden yellow metal belts right there. It's got like these round rivets in it, and of course he's also wearing a matching wrist bracer right there, and of course he has his arm guard right there on his other arm right there, and it is removable. He also has his signature fur and leather boots as well, and of course yeah, he has all the signature stuff that He-Man should have, looking really nice. And of course, no He-Man is complete without his sword of power right there and his shield. I do have that stored on his back, just like I showed you with the classic He-Man. Although the strap and the handle on this shield is different than the classic He-Man, you could still store it onto his back with his sword. So all you got to do is just stick the sword of power through the notch in the harness, and then there you have it. You can store the sword of power on his back, like so, easy peasy. But anyway, now let's get on to articulation with this figure. His head is fully articulated, so we can look up about that much, we can look down, we can look right, we can look left, and we can do a full-on 360 cranium revolus. And the opposite way, we also have a really good torso articulation, so we can rock side to side and lean side to side and lean forward and back. And we can also rotate at the waist, so we can rotate those hips all the way around. But I do advise being careful because it's kind of tight, and we can rotate them back around the opposite way as well. So be very careful when doing this. But anyway, we also have really good shoulder articulation. Now, when it comes to shoulder articulation, my only gripe about the Masterverse figures is the fact I think Mattel should start implementing butterfly joints in the shoulders, much like other figures. I think that would just make them a little bit more posable, so that way you could put them in better poses, and you know, you could do more like better stances with this sword and everything, so I think butterfly joints in the shoulders would be better. But other than that, I still think these are really good figures for what they are. But anyway, we do have hinges in the shoulders, so we can put them out in a T-pose and put his arms back down. We can also swivel them all the way around and the opposite way. Same is true with the other arm. Swivel that all the way around, and the opposite way, of course. We do have bicep swivels there, so we can swivel those biceps all the way around, like so. We have a double joint at the elbow, so you can bend those elbows all the way back like so, and then back down. Same is true with the other side, and then back down. We have a swivel in the wrists, so we can swivel those wrists all the way around. And yeah, I gotta put some clear nail polish on this hand because it likes to pop out. I had to put some clear nail polish on his closed fist hand so it could stay in, and I think I'm gonna have to put some clear nail polish on that one. Anyway, we can also swivel like so, and we do have a hinge in those wrists as well, so we can bend those wrists forward and back like so. Same is true with the other side, and we can, yeah, swivel like I just showed you, and that pretty much concludes it for articulation with the upper body portion of the figure. And now moving right along to the lower body portion of the figure, we do have some really good ball joints in the hips, so we can kick out to the side about that much and back down. And same is true with the other side, so we kick out about that much and back down. We got a swivel at the thigh, swivel, so we can swivel that thigh all the way around like so. We also have a double joint at the knee, so we can bend those knees all the way back and then forward again. And of course, we can do the full-on splits with them, so that's cool. That's a definite plus. And also, we do have a full 360 swivel in the boot as well. And we do have a hinge in the feet, and we can point them back up, point them back down, and we can rotate them all the way around. And that pretty much concludes it for articulation with this figure. And now getting on to accessories, and of course he does come with interchangeable hands, so just give me a second to grab them. And now for accessories, we do have a gripping hand for the other arm, and so we just gotta take that hand out and put this hand in. So now we have symmetrical hands, and of course we have a closed fist hand for the right arm as well. But yeah, if I put the closed fist hand in, and yeah, he won't be able to hold the Sword of Power. So what good is a He-Man figure that can't hold the Sword of Power? Not one I would buy. But anyway, moving right along, so let me get the closed fist hand out and put this flat hand in, or this like open palm hand in. Anyway, removing the Sword of Power from his harness and his shield, of course. To apply the shield, you have to have his open palm hand in, because the straps on this shield is different from the 1982 classic He-Man figure. So you just basically, let me show you again, you just slide that on like so. And the way the shield slides on, it looks like you can throw it like Captain America. So yeah, about that. But anyway, yeah, you just slip it on like that, and it basically, you know, the straps kind of just fit right in with his arm guard there. And of course, you know, we got to put the Sword of Power in his hand. So no He-Man is complete without the Sword of Power. So yeah, it's the only way he's gonna be able to call down the power. Well, unless he wants to turn into Savage He-Man, of course. Yeah, see, now that turned out. Yeah, but anyway, there he is with the Sword of Power in hand and his trusty shield. So looking really nice, really awesome. Really like this figure so far. Looks like he's getting ready to battle Skeletor and his evil forces. So yeah, this is definitely a top-notch figure right here. But anyway, with all that said, if I have to give this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give him a drum roll, please. And based on detail, articulation, and playability, like I said, my only pet peeve with the Masterverse figures is the fact that they lack butterfly joints in the shoulders, but that still doesn't bother me very much because I will still be buying more of them because I really enjoy them, and now that I'm getting more bigger into the Masters of the Universe franchise, I will definitely be buying more. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be getting into like the cartoon collection or what they call that other line where like the figures can come apart and you could use different pieces from different figures to kind of like build your own figure, kind of. Like I've seen those. The ones that's like a little bit smaller than the Masterverse figures. I don't know if I'm going to get into those, but I do have some on my BBTS wish list. So that means Big Bad Toy Store, for those of you who are unfamiliar. So like I said, do have some of those on my Big Bad Toy Store wish list. But anyway, if I have to give this one a final score, before I forget, I have to give him an all honest, fair but square, knocked out of the park, absolutely A+, 10 out of 10. Why? Like I said, although it does lack butterfly joints in the shoulders, I still think this is a dang gone good figure line for what it is. I think it's well worth it. If you want this one, you can grab them from BigBadToyStore.com. The link will be in the description. He is super cheap right now. He's on sale. He's reasonably priced. Now, I do have to give a quick warning. Mine was super duper tight and really stiff out of the box, and I had to, go over them a few times with my hair dryer to loosen up those joints because they were like crazy stiff, especially in the hips. Because if I would have tried to move this one out of the box, I would have broke it, and I don't want to do that with my figures because I take care of my stuff. And sooner or later, I'm going to have to do a figure comparison with this one, with the 1982 Classic He-Man, and go over like the similarities and differences, because I think that would make for an interesting topic. But anyway, guys, that pretty much concludes it for this review. As always, thank you guys all so much for watching. Your viewership is much appreciated. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, because that really helps out this channel. And if you want to help out this channel even more, be sure to leave a positive comment, because we don't need any negativity here. So if you don't have anything good to say, keep it to yourself, because that's something that nobody needs or wants. But anyway, guys, like I was saying, thanks for watching. Thank you for your time. Like I said, your viewership is much appreciated. And to sum it all up, stay safe, take care, God bless, stay positive, stay powered up, and peace out.